Welcome students to this tutorial on how to bookmark articles in the Opposing Viewpoints database. In Module 1 we talked about viewpoints, we talked about the different types of viewpoints. In this session though, we're going to assume that you already know how to do that and you've selected an actual viewpoint or article to begin taking notes on. The first step once you've decided that you wanted that article is to bookmark the article so that you can easily go back to the article if you need it. To do that, you simply go to the upper right hand corner where the toolbar is and select bookmark. From there, you'll see the URL is already highlighted. You simply click select, and then you go to a word processor or like Word, or you can do a notepad, you can do it in OneNote, you can do it in all kinds of whatever format you want. But for simple purposes, just use a Word since it's really easily available. And just click on paste and then hit enter, and you have the URL already in place. And that's how to bookmark a article in Opposing Viewpoints. Welcome students to this session on how to use highlights and note-taking tools of the online database, as well as using the save feature of the online database. What these basic tools allow you to do is to peruse the different articles in the database and take notes and create basically note cards that you can then save and then upload to Google Drive. It's a really big, nice feature, and it's a really good time saver for many students. To begin with, let's pick this online Opposing Viewpoints article called Online Game Playing is Not Addictive. If you recall from previous session in Module 1, we talked about viewpoints and how to read viewpoints and take notes. One of the key points that we discussed was in viewpoints there are these introductory pieces that give you summaries of the articles. This is an example of one, and if we look at the very first part, we have a summary of the argument of the article, and then we have guiding questions as well. So if I was doing this article and I was taking notes, the first thing I would want to do is highlight the summary. So first I read the summary, and I take this wonderful little paragraph here and I'll highlight it, and then after I highlight it, I click on highlight notes, and then I click the highlight button at the bottom, and then I can select a particular color. I'm going to go with the standard yellow, and then I want to click on notes. Now in the note feature, this is where we want to write a simple summary in our own words of what we highlighted. So we read what's highlighted, and we realize that Peter Gray has made some points in this first paragraph. Peter Gray argues that online games have been misrepresented in media and by using misguided research from brain imaging studies. Okay, this is a simple little summary, but notice, students, that I took the paragraph and now I'm writing this paragraph in my own words. This is what is known as paraphrasing it. So now I've taken the feature I wanted, I've highlighted it. Now that I've wrote my summary, I want to click save, and now I've saved my notes. Now if you look over here on the right side, you'll see highlights and then notes 1. Now keep remember the trick about we want to read our subtitles and then focus on questions related directly to the subtitles. So we want to summarize this section. So when we get done with this, we should have multiple note cards, at least 4 or 5 note cards addressing these general guiding questions. Okay, so now we create notes. How do we access these notes? Well, there's several ways to do that. But before we do anything else, once we've gone through our article and create our notes, we want to save those notes to our folder in our actual database. So before we do anything else, after we've read our article, we've made our notes, we want to go over the right hand corner under Tools and select Save. What this does is it saves the information to an actual folder and links all this information that connects to this particular article. Students, once you've saved your highlights and your notes, you want to go back to the toolbar and access your list of all your highlights and notes and create basically a digital note card. To do that, you want to make sure you click Save once so you save all your changes. Okay, and then you go up to where it says More on the toolbar, the 2-3 lines where it says More. You click on that, drop down, and you'll get these other options. And then if you select Highlights, you'll get all both of the note cards you made, or basically the notes that you took. You have your notes here, and then you have the highlighted text here. Now notice you have these options. You can click here to edit. You can add more information to it if you wish. You see more of that. You can click more information here. So if you want to do it quickly, let's say you go through an article and you select multiple things, and you just simply want a small note, a little note, and then you can go back and add more as you learn more about your articles. You can do that. But once you've done all this, you want to make these changes. So you click Edit Notes, and you want to add something else. You want to say something like add to introduction. You can click Save, and there it is. Okay, so you can keep adding to this and build a lot of information here on these note cards. And they're a nice format. Notice they're in a nice horizontal format. They're easy to read in a graph format so that you can easily follow text and so on. Now, if you want to cite this particular article, you have the citation options and all that, which we'll talk about a little later. But at this point, we've saved, we've found notes, we've created our note cards, we've saved them to our database. But the last step is we need to save them to our Google Drive account. Because at this point, if we log off the computer and pull it back on, we're going to lose that because there's a generic login to the database. There's not an individual login. So what's really important, students, is once you've created your notes and you've saved them, as we've saved them to the toolbar, we now need to upload it from the toolbar to our My Documents in our own Google Drive so then we can have them permanently. To do that, we simply go to upper left hand corner, it says Sign into Google. So we click on that. And mine automatically signs in because I'm already logged in, but if you didn't, you would log into your Gmail account and it would sync to it at that point in time. And now once I've done that, I can simply click on where it says Download, upper right hand corner, Download, and then I have the option to save to Google Drive. So then I click Download, and what it's doing is it's taking our documents that have been sent to Google Drive and will appear shortly. So I click OK, and now I go back to I've signed in already, so I don't need that. So then I want to open up my Google Drive account, and I click that by going here and go to Google Drive, and now I'll list my Google Drive folders. And if we scroll down, see this nice red folder, Opposing Viewpoints and Context. We open that, click that, and now we have our highlighted articles. And we click on the highlighted article, and here is our highlighted article. Here's our small citation. Here is our notes we took, and this is the highlighted text. And also we can actually do a direct link back to the article in case we've lost our bookmarks. Okay, so these are highlighted here, and these are our notes. So once we've saved it here, we have it, and it doesn't matter where we go from there as far as what the online database does. So it's real important, students, that once you've taken your notes and created these digital note cards and we've saved them to the database, we must upload them or download them rather to Google Drive and save them there. Once they're in Google Drive, you have them and you can do whatever you want. But if you don't do that last step, once you log out of the database, you'll lose that information. So it's real important that once you've saved everything, that you do the last step, which is uploading them to Google Drive.